8:36, final half hour of Wilmington's morning news on this Wednesday. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning. 910-763-4000 is our studio line if you'd like to jump in on the program this morning. I was spending some time, as I guess I do more often than I'd like to admit, on social media yesterday afternoon, and started seeing some posts popping up. Elon Musk, which isn't the craziest thing. The guy's always saying something to, get a popular tweet or Facebook post rising to the top. But then the news started coming out late yesterday that he was rekindling his deal with Twitter, and it looks like that deal is back on. Joining us now is Eric Peterson. He is with Young Voices, and he will have the latest details on this for us. Eric, I assume you were a little surprised by seeing this deal back on after a couple of months of back and forth and legal battles, and we're going to sue you, a whole bunch of nonsense going on there. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. I don't think I was surprised to see the deal come forward to fruition. I think that was always what was going to happen, especially as this started to move through Delaware Chancery Court. Those Delaware courts move very quickly, and Twitter had a lot of reasons to make this deal go through, and the discovery process was really putting out some unflattering things for Mr. Musk. I don't think anyone expected it to happen as quickly or yesterday, but I think given the contract that he signed, the stock price he was going to purchase it for, and the billions of dollars he would have had to pay to get out of it, this was outcome made the most sense.
Yeah, $44 billion is the deal. The big controversy, Eric, after the announcement was Elon Musk seemingly claiming without any evidence, besides whatever anecdotal evidence he thought he had, that the platform was upwards of 20% bots and fake accounts. Have we seen anything in the discovery? Have we seen anything from Twitter indicating that number is anywhere near close to true?
No, I don't think it's anywhere close to true. Twitter certainly does have a bot problem. But even if it was true, I don't think it would have avoided the deal or got him out of it. The bot claims seem to be a way for Mr. Musk to sort of get some clout and talk about why he was taking this to court and wanted to back out of the deal, rather than just say that the economics of the deal had changed suddenly as the Fed has been raising interest rates, and the value of a lot of companies, including Tesla, have declined significantly in recent months.
Well, and it's interesting to note, one of the biggest problems with Twitter, because I was talking to somebody last night about this, and they said, well, why is Twitter even, for sale? Why would Twitter want to sell Twitter to somebody else? And from what I understand about it, Eric, and correct me if I'm wrong, they have a huge problem monetizing Twitter. Unlike Facebook, who has done a masterful job at turning their ad network into something that's really profitable, Twitter has been unable to do that. And, for Elon Musk, you're going to spend $44 billion on a platform. You're going to have to make some money on it somehow.
Yeah, Twitter, not only have they always had trouble monetizing Twitter, it's a declining platform. I mean, you talked about Facebook, which has Instagram and their Meta platform now, and they've done a really good job of monetizing that. But a lot of these platforms are losing out to new platforms like TikTok or Discord. Twitter gets a lot of coverage from folks like you and me who are online, who are in the media space, who are in the political space. But in terms of user base and turning a profit, Twitter has always lagged behind.
So let me ask you this then, and I this is going to be a tough question for you to answer because you're not inside the mind of a madman like Elon Musk. Why is he interested in this thing in the first place? This guy's got more money than God. He wants to start his own platform, X or some nonsense that he wants to call it. Why did he bring forward this $44 billion deal at the start when it seems like the only reason he's going to go forward with the purchase now is because he wants to stop the discovery phase in the court system?
Yeah, if I had to take a guess, from a lot of the folks that he talked to who had been removed from the from the Twitter platform, such as the Babylon Bee, he really does view this as sort of a modern town square. And I think he was very unhappy with their content moderation practices, especially given that this is the platform that he mostly uses to communicate with his fan base, as well as the platform he uses to annoy the SEC. So I think he sort of had a personal interest in doing so. But again, I haven't had an in-depth discussion with Mr. Musk, so it's just speculation.
Yeah, well, when you do have that in-depth discussion, please let me know, and we'd love to relay it here on the air. We're talking to Eric Peterson this morning. It does look like Elon Musk is going to move forward with the $44 billion deal to purchase Twitter. And I saw a lot of folks on the right side of the political aisle yesterday, Eric, on Twitter saying, all right, we're going to unban everybody. Alex Jones is unbanned. Trump is unbanned. Everybody's unbanned. How big of an impact do you think Elon is going to have? You think he's going to be part of the day-to-day operations and tell staff, yeah, unban these people? Or is this going to be I buy the company and it just continues to run as it is?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think there will be some changes. And frankly, there need to be changes if Twitter is going to continue to grow in the social media space and be profitable. My guess is that there will probably be changes to their content moderation decisions. Their Twitter is sort of known for having capricious and arbitrary content moderation decisions. So I would suspect we will see some things move back in the other way. Will this result in everybody being unbanned that Twitter has ever banned? I don't think so. We've had platforms like that have sort of been everything goes, and they are not very popular. Even Truth Social, which has President Trump or former President Trump sending out posts, isn't very popular, and he was one of the most popular people on Twitter, which I think goes to show that perhaps the desire for all these people who have been banned for Twitter are not as big as some people think.
Yeah, and it's important to note that, and it's hard for me to kind of disconnect myself from this working in the media landscape and the political landscape. All this news breaks on Twitter. I mean, you follow these various hashtags and you're up to date. You know, you'll see a tweet from somebody 2.5, 3 hours before a story hits a newspaper website or a news station website. But for the regular layman, you know, they're not on Twitter day in and day out like a lot of other folks are. Let me ask you this, Eric. You put out a tweet last night, Elon Musk. Let's see, what time was this? 6:39 p.m. last night, saying, quote, buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. What is X, and what is he planning with? What is an everything app?
Yeah, so I think Elon Musk owns X.com. So if I had to guess, domain. I think Elon Musk is making a joke. I don't think he is very serious about turning Twitter into the everything app or moving Twitter to X.com. This has been something he has talked about for a long time, and one of these things that he continues to use to sort of create engagement on Twitter.
It's very interesting to watch him kind of operate in this sphere. I mean, you know, a lot of people can talk the talk, but he can back a lot of this stuff up with money. And in this case, $44 billion. But he's not alone in this, right? This is not him financing it. He's got big financial institutions behind this purchase of Twitter. So I guess they either agree with Musk and agree with, think he's a good business operator, or they agree with Twitter, the platform, because Morgan Stanley and these other groups wouldn't be willing to put this money behind it, would they?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and one of the reasons why this deal took so long to go through in the first place. He wanted to finance this deal through loans against his Tesla stock. So certainly selling all of enough Tesla stock to make this deal happen would tank Tesla stock, which is where most of his wealth comes from. And, just due to interest rates right now and a decrease in value in the tech sector abroad, I think that made it very difficult, especially buying Twitter at $54 a share. But yeah, I mean, everything Mr. Musk has touched over the last 20 years has ended up being profitable, whether it's, PayPal, whether it's Tesla, whether it's SpaceX. And he looks like one of the better bets right now.
It's expected that Twitter stock has been halted in pre-market trading. It's at $52 right now. We'll see what it opens as. Is 50? Was it 54.20? It is actually 54.20 is the buy amount on that the deal has been made on. Now, from a government standpoint, you mentioned the SEC earlier, the Security and Exchange Commission. I assume that they'll have something to say about this, maybe even the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. How quickly do you think a deal like this goes forward, and how quickly is it before Elon, takes the elevator to Twitter HQ and starts, doing God knows whatever he's going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not going to happen overnight. And as I noted before, Elon Musk has a tenuous relationship with the SEC. They're certainly not his favorite person. That said, I mean, I think this will, get moving forward fairly quickly. And, by the end of the year, I would imagine that we will start to see some fairly big changes made at Twitter, whether it's going to be letting people back on the platform, or whether it's trying to come up with a new model to grow Twitter's user base and finally start monetizing it.
Eric Peterson joins us this morning. Eric, for folks that want to follow what you do, you're in the tech sphere. What's the best way for them to do that?
They can follow me on youngvoices.org.
Fantastic. Eric Peterson, thank you so much for the time. Greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Eric Peterson joining us this morning. I shot off a late email last night to Eric and the team over at Young Voices. Appreciate them getting back to me as quickly as they did, as, again, all of this kind of culminated late last night. CNBC is talking about it right now. What changed? Well, as Eric mentioned, some discovery text messages and emails between Elon Musk and some other people started making their way forward in those courts, and well, they weren't necessarily the most flattering for Mr. Elon Musk. And it seemed like, from what I understand, I'm not a financial mastermind by any stretch of the imagination, but from what I understood, there was no way he was getting out of this deal. He could have gone through the legal proceedings and continued to push the idea that Twitter is full of bots and, they misled him. But it seemed like that this Delaware court, and the reason that most businesses are incorporated in Delaware is because of their court system and how friendly it is to businesses, that court system was going to require the individual, in this case Elon Musk, to purchase the company, which is bizarre to me, but you have a contract, you agreed to it, you've got to follow through. And now it looks like he is going to be doing that only if the legal battle stops, and it does seem that Twitter is on board with that. I don't think they want to be taken to court. They want to get rid of the company. It will become a private company, and it will now be on Elon Musk and whoever he surrounds himself with to figure out how to make one of the most popular social media platforms in terms of numbers, which is Twitter. How do they make that platform profitable and successful from a business standpoint, looking at other services like Meta, Facebook, and Alphabet and Google, how they've been able to take their web companies and turn them into long-term profitable companies. Twitter is one of the outliers that has been unable to do that. I'm sure there will be a lot more conversation today. Stock market opens here in about 45 minutes. It'll be interesting to see how quickly they stop trading once the stock opens for Twitter, and we'll let you know of any new details on this right here on Wilmington's Morning News.